If you're an Enneagram 4 and you're looking for help, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll be sharing growth tips to help you thrive. When I first discovered I was an Enneagram Type 4, I felt understood, like I wasn't alone. However, learning about the Enneagram Type 4 can be both reassuring and a little depressing. I needed some optimistic help. I'm just at the beginning of my Enneagram journey, and I'm on a mission to learn more about being a Type 4. My goal is to share the things that I'm discovering in the hopes it may help you too. These tips are based on research from multiple sources, along with my own insights. All of the sources are included in the description below. Be sure to check them out. As all humans are their own unique mix, so are 4s. You may find all, some, or none of these tips helpful. If not, I hope this video inspires you to find the things that help you grow. 4s struggle with longing for what we don't have. I want to make the dreams I have for my life a reality. The problem is that reality never quite lives up to my expectations of the perfect dream I'd formed in my mind. And it can be incredibly disappointing when you feel like you've finally grasped something you've always wanted, but it doesn't quite live up to all you expected it would be. Psychologist Rob Holden says destination addiction is a preoccupation with the idea that happiness is somewhere else. We suffer, literally, from the pursuit of happiness. Attachment to longing is a big struggle for the 4s. I often wonder if I'm ever going to reach a place of contentment in my life, as I'm so often focused on what's missing. To grow, we can recognize the things that we have, which were once among the things we desperately wanted. If I look back to 10 years ago, many of the things I have now were things that I wished for. And when I take a break from longing for what I don't have, I get a warm feeling that some might call happiness for the things that I've achieved and now have in my life. So what does this look like in practice? Write down all the things you now have which were things you wished for. Stick this somewhere where you can read it every day. Remind yourself that you have made progress, that it's not all just longing and no arriving. Daily gratitude. Write down just one thing you're grateful for each day. I find that one thing is a good start, as it needs to be achievable. This forces your brain to be thankful and to pay attention to not just what you have, but also to appreciate ordinary things in life that you're thankful for. Us 4s can struggle to appreciate the ordinary, so try to create the habit of being grateful for the simple things in life. 4s struggle with the belief that something is fundamentally wrong with them. I remember being younger and feeling that I just needed to figure out what was wrong and fix it. Throughout my life, I identified different things that I thought were the problem and worked to make them better. The issue was, as one problem faded in my mind, another arose. 4s' belief that something is fundamentally wrong with them can cause them to focus on what is missing instead of on what they have. Envy is one of our greatest struggles, and we can look at those around us and feel that we somehow would dealt a worse hand. We can grow by learning to recognize that much of this story is not true and not based in fact. How can we do that? Understand that there's things wrong with everyone. We're all dealt a hand with a few cards missing. Regardless, we are all worthy of the things we want in life. Nobody is perfect. We are all a work in progress, but that doesn't mean there's fundamentally something wrong with us. Repeat this mantra every time your brain tries to tell you you're fundamentally flawed. I hear what you're saying, but I'm choosing something else. What we focus on is what we become. We have the power to choose the stories we tell ourselves. The feelings freefall. 4s experience all the feelings. It's a beautiful and at times hard reality to exist in. We feel things so deeply, but sometimes the sadness and disappointment caused from the tough parts of being human can be a lot to carry. Working towards equanimity is the goal, learning how to maintain mental calmness even when difficult situations arise. Remember, you're the sky. I love the metaphor that our minds are the sky and thoughts and feelings the clouds. The clouds come and go, but behind them is always the sky. It's easy for 4s to walk a mile in another's shoes, to feel pain and sadness, ours and others. But we can't stay there forever. We need energy to keep searching for our unique purpose. When you're lost in the feelings, repeat this mantra. I'm the sky, this too shall pass. Remembering that we are the sky is important, reminding ourselves that these feelings will pass just as the clouds move away. Filling in the gaps. Because we are always searching for meaning, it's easy to fill in the gaps when communicating with others. 4s are sensitive souls. This gives us the ability to be able to see beyond just what people say. I think this is a beautiful part of being a 4, but sometimes we read into things a little too much, creating whole stories where there aren't any. It can cause us to hurt when we interpret what others have said in a negative light. It can also be frustrating for others when we react in ways that don't align with how they intended their words to come across. Try to avoid filling in the gaps. If you feel hurt by something someone said to you, ask them what they actually meant. The story I'm telling myself about that is that what you meant? Get all of the facts before you decide how to feel. Us humans are complex beings. What I love about the Enneagram is that it helps us to understand and acknowledge our tendencies so we can develop into the healthiest version of ourselves if we choose to. The Enneagram should be a positive tool to help us grow, and we get to choose how we grow and change and not be defined by the things that hold us back.